support. Next question. How do the SEALs deal with fatigue, soreness, and the beatdown of buds and SQT without getting injured?
Well, you just get used to it. And again, I say this all the time, buds and the SQT, which is the kind of the initial training after you get done with buds, which is the basic underwater demolition SEAL training. That's a short part of your career. I mean, it's literally a fraction of your career. It means nothing. But just like any working out, you get used to it. And if it's like when you work out, if you haven't worked out for a long time, or someone that just starts working out from nowhere, never worked out before, they're going to be sore as hell when they first work out. I just had this happen to me because I went on the road. I went on a road trip, multiple back-to-back road trips. Then I went overseas, came back. When I came back, I got sick. So I was, for like 3 weeks, I hadn't squatted heavy at all. I had no body. All I did was body weight squats, pistols, just lunges. That's how I worked my legs. There's just no weight, so you just do what you can do in a hotel room in some strange part of Europe. And when I came back, I was all happy, and I got on that squat. Then I was sick, and then once I got done being sick, then it finally felt good, and I got back on that squat rack. And man, my legs were destroyed for 4 or 5 days. I'm talking, having a hard time sitting down, having a hard time standing up. It was gnarly. But that's just because my body it lost that element. So of course, if you just started working out and you're walking around sore all the time, that's because you got to get used to it. And in buds, you do get injured just because it's massively repetition. There was a guy that we had that was a trainer, an athletic trainer for a professional sports team. And when he was there, there's a great example. There's something called patellofemoral syndrome, which is when your patella, because of the way you're running, it rubs on your femur and it becomes problematic. And he said in like a whole season in the NFL, or he would see maybe one of those injuries, maybe two. And, he'd have to figure out what it is. And when he was working in buds, he would literally see 30 of those a week. So you just get to see, there's more people, there's 10 times the people, but it still is massive amount of injuries. And it's the same thing in the SEAL teams. In the SEAL teams, it's your shoulders, it's your backs, it's your knees, it's your ankles. You get abused. And it's not the working out that does it to you. It's not working out. It's carrying a guy on your shoulder over the rocky terrain out in the desert and tripping on an ankle. That's what you get hurt. It's jumping off of a wall and you land on a cinder block that breaks and that's the kind of stuff. The working out doesn't really do it to you. I actually, one of the things when I was a task unit commander and we were going through land warfare training, and I would work out every day and I would roll with guys, like teach them some jiu-jitsu and then roll with them. And I would, guys are, because, we're working hard during the day or during the night. And I was kind of making fun of some guys that were taking Motrin, and I was like, you don't need that. You're weak and stuff like that. And sure enough, right after we got done, I got something called bursitis in my elbow, because in land warfare, you're constantly getting down in the desert, you're crawling, and then I was in jiu-jitsu on the mat, and I just banged it a couple times, and sure enough, my elbow swelled up, and I had to take Motrin. Yeah, don't open your mouth, Jocko. Yeah. Just keep it to yourself. And again, I was hammering guys, but in a joking manner, and so they hammered me right back when I had the Motrin pills to try and heal that up. But it is, like I said, it's the injuries come from not from working out. In fact, I always think that the working out prevents the injuries. That I think that's true with everything. I think that's true with jiu-jitsu. I think that's true with life. You work out, you're strong, your joints are strong, your muscle density is better. Just work out, because it'll prevent injuries more than I don't worry about. I look at working out not as injuries going to happen. I look at working out as injury prevention. And the last thing is, you shouldn't need to completely crush yourself every day. in your workouts. I mean, you shouldn't be going to a point that you have massive muscle soreness over your whole body or over even body parts. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You know, do you want to push yourself? Yeah, you want to push yourself, but you want to be so sore that you like can't perform your job.
Yeah.
And also I like, you know, active rest. You know, I hardly ever just do nothing. Occasionally I will. Occasionally I'll just, man, I'm broke down.
Yeah.
And just eat steak and just chill. But I like to do the active rest. You know, I like to do some kind of jog, swim, surf, whatever. And you know, actually jiu-jitsu, like if I have a sore back, I love getting on the mat. It just loosens everything up, feels so good. But that's only at a certain level.
Yeah.
Because when you're a white belt or a blue belt or a purple belt, man, that's just a battle. You're getting off the mat sore. I don't get off the mat sore from jiu-jitsu seldom. Seldom do I get off the mat like, man, I'm tired. I mean, we trained today. That was a no factor. You know what I mean? It's just, oh, yeah, we trained. Good to go.
If you get into the takedown elements, though, that will be hard on your back.
It'll be hard on your back. But even the takedown elements, you know, if you're just going to do pure takedowns, yeah. But I mean, a takedown's going to last how long? And if your back's sore, pull guard and work something else.
Yeah.
So that's it. And the bottom line is, you work out, you do some of these workouts, you'll get used to it, you'll get in the zone, and then you won't be so sore all the time.
Yeah, that as an advocate of rest, I that's important. That part where you're like, don't beat yourself down, because the exercise, technically, if you really split hairs here, the exercise doesn't make you stronger. The recovery from the exercise is when you get stronger. So yeah, the exercise is part of the whole system that makes you strong. But when you recover from that exercise, that's when you're stronger.
I'll give you that.
So yeah.
But the workout itself is what induces the recovery. So
Sure. Yeah. So there you go. I guess so. It's all kinds of different philosophies, right? Different approaches.
Yeah.
Like you prefer the active rest, and not going hard every day. Some people, they prefer go hard every day, but then they'll have a straight up 2-3 days off.
That's true.
Completely, you know. But yeah, recovery from the exercise. That's the ticket right there.
yeah, and when I say go hard, I mean like the muscular, destroy. Like if you can do squats until you can't walk, you can't do that all the time.
Yeah,
and you don't need to.
Right.
You need to initiate the growth. You don't need to destroy them.
Yeah.
And you can do. You can, but with the metabolic conditioning, you really can destroy yourself a lot more often. And if you're doing it right, you shouldn't really be getting muscularly sore from your metabolic conditioning.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right.
Right. But then again, isn't that really a spectrum as well?
It is a spectrum.
Like a Metcon can be like a heavier,
it can
like
be
quicker
yeah.
with.
That's the beauty of working out. That's why you should never get bored with working out, because you can change it up.